Start of the 1997 Elimination Finals. Sturt versus the Roosters. The first bounce. Players throwing themselves over the ball. Big Rosenboom up against Simon Feast, who's one of the favourites for this year's McGarry medal. With me in commentary this afternoon is Rob Popplestone. Doing our special comments will be Ken Sheldon. And throughout this game we will also be hearing from David Mackay. Just waiting for the ball to go back. We see a couple of players there. Poppy and Glenn Sanford and also Mark Soderstrom, a couple of tough players. Soderstrom, a former Rooster.
I think you recall at Adelaide Oval too that Sanford left the ground before the start of the game under the blood rule. It'd be interesting to see how these two players match up today.
So again, Rosenberg gets the ball down. Just missed Newton. Coming through is Morton. Kicks the ball out wide. Bit of a foot race. This is Squire. Gets the ball back across. And handballing out to Gerke. Which way Gerke goes. He decides to put the ball up forward. Missed his target and Parker. Coming across with Sanford. Back to Parker. Just chips the ball forward. Unfortunately, Parker couldn't keep the ball in. And the boundary umpire blows his whistle. The ball to be thrown on the half-forward line for North Adelaide. Conditions this afternoon been fairly wet this morning. Consistent rain. At the moment the rain has stopped, so as long as it does, these conditions should improve.
Ball thrown back in. Tap down was by Sanford. In first, North Adelaide. Noonan, as you'd expect him first. Has he been taken too high? No. The umpire will bounce it down. Have a look here, Noonan. Ken, renowned for his ability to get under those packs.
It's going to be one of the real strengths of this game. Gerke and Atkinson in the midfield. Noonan, along with Morton, tremendous North Adelaide midfielders.
Sturt worked the ball off the half-back line now. Good work. Soderstrom kicks long. Nice leg too. Looking for the high jumping White, was it? Play-on's the call. A good attempt though. Phillips back in this side today. He's met heavily by Lennon. He can't get the ball out. Tough, hard game as you'd expect. An elimination final.
You can see number 19 there really used his knees well, got the leap and almost could have been paid, but really didn't have it under control. Difficult it is in these wet conditions. It isn't raining, but it is damp.
Umpire's Bittridge throws the ball in the air. Good knock forward by Rosenboom. That was Morton who slides through the mud in front of the coach's box. Unfortunately, couldn't keep the ball in. It's gone out of bounds in the full. So Atkinson for the double blues will bring the football in. He's looking centre half forward for White again. Kicks the ball high. Also Stanfield there. Coming across to Stanfield. Couldn't quite get his hand to it. Players dive themselves over the top of the football, and again the umpire will come in and ball it up.
Kick out in the full by Danny Morton, reflective of the tremendous pressure that Brodie Atkinson was able to put on him in chasing him down. The 1%ers, the tackles, the smothers, the chasers will be so critical in today's outcome. Stanfield
up with Rosenboom. Coming out hard is Sanford. Nearly took a good mark. Collins is over it hard. Again is Sanford over top of the football. Players again throwing themselves in. Bit of pushing and shoving there by Collins. The umpire has paid the free kick.
Possibly against Sanford.
Oh.
Or against Gerke there, pretty evident in television.
The Blues go forward through Lennon. The option was Burton. Interesting though, Ken, the amount of water that's still left on this oval, isn't it? You can see it as the ball hits. There's water that's not visible to the naked eye, but obviously when the ball hits that turf, it's very slippery.
We might see the super stopper. come out.
Sandfield now, tap down, looking for Atkinson. He'll be first there, but he's under pressure. Can he get away from the tackler? He can. Feeds off the handball to Ferguson. A left foot kick around the body. Who's first there? It's a big fella for North Adelaide, and that's Wayne Rosenboom.
Rosenboom playing in ruck, sitting a kick and a half behind the play, as is Simon Feast, his direct opponent. Feast now competing and taking almost that mark.
Ball skips down to Lennon. Again, back to Rosenboom, so 2 marks in 60 seconds in the last line of defence for the Roosters.
So big boom. Deep in the back lines, onto his left leg. He goes wide, looking for Squire. Courageous mark taken by Ferguson. Running blindly back towards the pack. Good grab. He kicks the ball forward, trying to find Stanfield. The little nippy Tim Noonan comes across. This is Phillips. Been out with a hamstring injury. Unfortunately couldn't clear the football away from the pack. Players, this is Archie. Onto his left boot. Unfortunately couldn't direct it well. It's gone out on the full. The Dudley Archie really has got some magic about him. It's Holland bringing the ball back in. Rosenboom will contest it from behind. Also there was Collins coming across his feet. He keeps his footing, gives the ball back. Number 19 going through was White. Ball was smothered. Again Collins, back to Gerke. Coming through is Atkinson. Plenty of pressure. Conditions really are wet and slippery. Back to Feast. Couldn't hold the ball. Goes further on. 25 there is Richter. Kicks the ball high. Good work. Use for the body by Burton. Gives a handball across. Weatherall's taken. Burton comes in. Should be the first goal for the afternoon. It is. It's his first goal. The Double Blues strike the first blood.
Just a weight of numbers there by the Sturt Football Club, but how prominent has Brodie Atkinson been, playing against his old club, playing in the centre here today. Has had a lot of the football already, and it just, from the kick out, they were able to just run it forward. Great pressure by North Adelaide, but in the end, just weight of numbers, seen Burton kick it off the ground for a soccer goal.
Speaking to Phil Carman this morning before this game, he was confident that the Sturt stride is a lot stronger physically and the conditions would suit. At this stage, you'd have to agree. The ball bounced down. Feast gets a tap to Atkinson. Squire and Richter have words, and umpire Richard Williams comes in and settles the boys down. Coach Phil Carman, after 3 years at the helm, finally some results are starting to come to fruition. Feast, tap down again. Who's first there? It's Sturt again. I think that'll be the order of the day, Ken, that body under the pack.
It certainly will be, Robbie. Both of these sides have tremendous on-ball divisions and both have very, very good ruckmen.
Rosenboom up against Feast. Down there was Gerke. The ball's kicked forward. Collins will be there with Richter. Plenty of water still on the surface of this oval. And again, we see the pack forms. Plenty of feeling out there. Good umpiring. Just realising a little bit of pushing and shoving. Maybe might be a great deal in it. The umpires are taking control. So number 35, Seamus Maloney, kicks the ball across. Number 14 is Scotty Robertson. He goes direct towards Stanfield. Stanfield takes the mark. Got his hands there. Couldn't hold it in these conditions. Gerke comes in. The umpire believes he couldn't get the ball out and will come in and ball it up.
Really has started at a terrific tempo this game. The tackling, the ferocity is first rate.
Half-forward line, again the Blues into attack. The Roosters under all sorts of pressure, namely due to this man, Atkinson, fighting hard. Morton sees the ball over the boundary line. Two favourites there for the Magarey Medal, Brodie Atkinson and Danny Morton. Of course, the ABC will be showing that coverage live on Tuesday night. Again, the ball thrown back in. Who's first there? The skipper of the Roosters, Viney, strong. A quick kick forward as he found a teammate he has. Young Matty Collins, who plays on quickly. Davis under pressure, goes looking, searching for Collins, can't find that player. The pressure's intense, weight of numbers. North Adelaide through, Viney once more. Goes long. The option there was Herbert, but seeing the ball over the boundary line was thread goal. Chris McDermott, the skipper of North Adelaide, Ken. Obviously the nerves would be starting to show on him too, I'd expect.
No doubt about that. Both coaches on debut for their finals campaigns.
Big fella and Herbert gets the ball forward. And as far as Atkinson, Squire here now has opportunity onto his left leg. He brings the ball back in. Big Parker's there. With him is Patura. Neither player can take the grab. The ball once again out over the boundary line.
It's a good matchup, that. Parker, very fast and hard leading and strong marking player as a forward, with Patura very experienced as a fullback. Left foot.
Coming out, there was Windle across to Gurkey. Gurkey on his left leg brings the ball back. Again, no real control. Once again, we'll see the ball brought in. This time, looks like Johnny Richter down there on screen. No, it's not. It was O'Leary who brings the ball back in. Stanfield well down the ground, contests the mark. Atkinson coming very hard to take the footy. Ball again, very slippery. And once again, we see it out over the line.
Some of the matchups are really terrific. Gurkey and Atkinson in particular in the centre. Weatherald is the job on Noonan, and Morton and Richter are taking place as midfielders.
Ball goes forward through Viney, but Richter, the Rock of Gibraltar from the last line of defence, goes short. Nice leg too. Finds the centre half back in Soderstrom. Slips but has time to settle and does so to Lennon. Part of the elimination side of Sturt in 88. Goes forward. Archie backs himself and does well. Goes inboard looking for an option. The umpire says you've run too far. Questionable, Ken, but nevertheless the free kick will go to Brenton Phillips.
Yes, Phillips taking his place in the side after being doubtful with a hamstring injury for a number of weeks.
So Brenton Phillips, the veteran for the Roosters. This is Feast, also one of the highly fancied players for this year's medal, along with Atkinson, along with Morton. The ball just stays in. The umpire will once again come in and throw it up. So we played 11 and a half minutes of this quarter here, Ken. Sturt still got that 6-point margin.
It's been very, very even, and I was just going to compliment the tremendous discipline by Davis to spoil from behind with a strong fist, making sure that ball wasn't able to be marked by Stanfield. Then it was Collins who was able to crumb the square in front of that, collect the ground ball, and then kick to touch, centimetres only in between it and out in the full.
North Adelaide into attack, but only marginally, just short of 12 minutes of this first quarter. The elimination final, Sturt taking on North Adelaide. The two big improvers, season 97. A quick kick by Morton. Can Parker take it? He can't. Sturt again through numbers, but in trouble was Robinson. Goes looking for and finds Richter, who was taken too high. And Richter really has been in sensational form. Over 200 game player for the Double Blues. Goes short. Patura, a good rebounder for the Sturt side. He does just that and kicks long to centre half forward. Who's going to be at the bottom of that? It's going to be, is it? No, it's a free kick behind play, just as White was running into an open goal. And Brenton Phillips takes the free kick. Has an option in Davis, but goes short. His option will be Noonan. Noonan drops maybe what he should have taken, but has time to find Gurkey, who in turn kicks long. Feast is under that one, taken out of the equation he was by Parker, and then Feast, Kenny, on that occasion.
Well, he was very lucky to get that free kick. It was tremendous discipline. No doubt that Parker did take the body, but Feast very undisciplined in doing what he, well, putting Parker to the ground on his way back to take his kick. The umpire doing the correct thing.
So Parker from 60 decides to try to find Noonan on a fair bit of pressure from Atkinson. Parker dodges and weaves, now gets the ball in the boot. Unfortunately, it was smothered by Johnny Richter.
I think you'll see a fair bit of this early in this game as nerves settle down. These players are in there, a lot of them in their first final. They're under their, well, their coaches are in their first final. It's been a big week for these blokes. The conditions aren't making it any easier.
Work done in tight. Ball comes forward towards Lennon. He'll just guide the ball out over the boundary line under a fair bit of pressure.
Lennon playing on centre wing for Sturt. His matchup will be Collins, number 17 for North Adelaide. As I mentioned, Gurkey and Atkinson in the middle. And on the other wing, you have Viney, the captain of North Adelaide, playing on Nathan Irvin, number 10 for North Adelaide.
So those matchup Kenny Sheldon's just told you about probably will have an influence on who actually wins this game. The ball thrown back in. Again, desperate Well, desperation by both players of both sides. As we have a look at that North Adelaide crowd, they'd be hoping under coach Chris McDermott for success. Feast now, tap down, Atkinson, quick kick with the left foot, couldn't make contact. Morton off the ground, gains variable metres. Feast, well, I thought he should have picked it up. He went to kick it off the ground, which enables Parker to handball a quick ball out to Noonan. He shows discipline and centres the ball, but first there's O'Leary for the double blues, and with no option, kicks to open space. Now the race is on. It'll be 2 against 1. It'll be Viney and also for North Adelaide, Robertson. And North Adelaide win out through the young 16-year-old in Robertson, whose kick under pressure was a beauty, and Collins dropped what he should have taken. Has time to try to find an opponent, doesn't, and Robertson for the double blues eases the pressure.
Ball goes forward, a good mark taken in front of the pack. So number 25 is Scotty Sutherland. Great courage shown to hold his ground. And once again, Matty Collins, who was down on form last week, Ken, at the moment has started that way as well, missing 2 fairly easily marks.
The simple marks, you wonder what's under those gloves, if in fact he's got some hand problems.
Ball comes down, that's Morton again. Kicks the ball forward. Couldn't quite take it. Parker comes out, gives the ball back to Gerke. Gerke goes inside and outside. Got the player running out wide. He goes that way in Noonan. Noonan will hold it up. Got the play forward, which is where he goes, and that is Mark Jeffries. So Jeffries, from around about 40 metres, on a 45-degree angle, could bring up the first goal for the afternoon.
Jeffries is a difficult player to match up on, has a lot of ability and will kick his 2 or 3, even 4 goals a game if given the opportunity. He really is an opportunist. That was just good maturity by Gerke and then Noonan to find him.
So Mark Jeffries lines up, he puts the ball on its way. I think he's gone home. Yes, he has. He's happy with the result. The scores here at the 16-minute mark of the first quarter, as you see, 1 goal apiece.
That's good football by the Roosters, all set up by the courage of Scotty Sutherland, taking a very strong mark at centre wing in difficult and heavy traffic, but he was able to keep his eyes on the football, and then they were able to build it up from there through the boundary line throw in, but eventually it was just good football intelligence by the midfielders in Gerke and Noonan finding their teammates.
Ball back in the centre of the ground. The tap down was by Rosenboom. Again, Sturt first there. Lennon, a quick kick. May fall fortuitously. No, it doesn't. In fact, it finds again that young 16-year-old we spoke of in only his 6th league game, Robertson. He goes and finds Parker. Parker a long way out from full forward, and it kicks a poor one because it's found the opposition ruckman in Feast, who plays on quickly to Weatherald. His left foot kick goes searching for, but not finding a teammate there in Lyndon Stevens. So North Adelaide again through Collins. Collins' kick touched off the boot, I think. A mark in front by Jeffries, so it wasn't touched off the boot, and a good work there by Jeffries.
And what a terrific mark. He marked it without his eyes on the ball, actually, so I'll take that comment back, but it was a strong vice grip.
Ball goes forward. Brenton Phillips, who's renowned for running down from a half-back flank or even the back pocket.
But you could see when Sutherland took that mark at centre wing, it was Phillips who went past for the handball. He wasn't able to receive it, but he kept running hard into the space. Great experience, great football intelligence, running to the space and eventually being used.
So Brenton Phillips will line up for the 2nd goal for the afternoon. Puts it on its way. It's dragged across the face. Back there is Feast. Mark nearly taken by Parker. It couldn't quite control the ball to the ground. The umpire will once again throw it in.
Feast versus Herbert.
Feast gets front position, but Herbert gets the tap to Parker. Quick hands. Gerke around the body. Goal number 2 for the Roosters.
That's a terrific goal. Almost something you can practice at training, almost a set drill. Herbert down to Parker. Parker quickly out to Gerke, who was just fading away from the back of the contest, and then able to kick across his body for a goal. A terrific team goal from North Adelaide's point of view.
So Richard Gerke in screen. That's his first goal for the afternoon. He's had 6 touches already early in this game. You see the Roosters now go out to a 6-point margin. Once again, back in the middle of the ground. It's big Rosenboom up against Feast. Coming through is Lennon. He throws it onto his boot. Ball's gone forward. Number 40 is Bradley Warner. He looks out towards the wing, kicks the ball very high, trying to bring some more rain. The back was Collins hanging on to Lennon. The two number 17s up against each other. Atkinson is taken by Scotty Sutherland. In there is Squire. He soccers the ball off the ground. Coming up first will be Threadgold, taken by Lucas Herbert, and Threadgold will receive the free kick.
Threadgold, the captain of the Double Blues. Good player over many years. Goes to the outer side. At the end of that one, he looked for Irvin. Punched away though. Good work there by North Adelaide. So there'll be a boundary throw in as we see Coach Chris McDermott there, Ken, searching for maybe a crack in the Sturt armour.
Good play by Wayne Rosenboom too. You could see that Feast was going to peel off from the pack and become an option. He was able to run 50 metres from centre half back across to the outer wing just to create a contest there and able to spill it across the boundary line. So terrific work rate from the big fellow Wayne Rosenboom.
It's a great start by both sides. Plenty of pressure out there, plenty of intensity. Just considering these conditions, it is wet, it is slippery, but both sides really are determined to hang around for this final series. The game will hot up. Morton throws the ball back. Coming through is Irvine. Irvine goes forward, looking for Stanfield. Coming across was Raymond Ebel, who punches the ball towards the boundary line. Has been in very good form of late as Ebel.
Yes, we've seen him play particularly well, particularly in the second half last week.
The ball thrown in, just waiting for the comeback over the fence. Crowd slowly building up here at Football Park. Conditions are improving. The rain has stopped. The ball's thrown in half forward flank for the Double Blues. Rosenboom, ball down to Morton. Again on to Gerke. Ball goes out wide to Viney. Back to the running Morton. Morton runs through the centre of the ground, looks forward, but on the last line, big Simon Feast takes a very safe mark.
Feast now to the outer side again, playing a loose man in defence when the ball goes forward. And Stanford, as we called just moments ago, rucking duties in the forward line. The rain starts to tumble down to here at Football Park, and so therefore a lot of the crowd under the concourse terrace area. Feast, can he get a tap down on this occasion? He can't. Irvin, a quick kick forward, only gains 2 or 3 yards, and now a quick handball by Noonan finds Robertson, a kick forward. Parker got hands to it, fights hard to keep the ball in his area. He's done well. Richter comes in and whips the ball off a North Adelaide opponent, as Soderstrom and Parker have words.
It's Chris Robertson really showing some special talents early in this game as a youngster, but Brendan Parker is creating a focal point for his North Adelaide side and showed tremendous defensive qualities there as a forward to hold the ball in, so now another neutral contest takes place.
Inside 50 for the Roosters, coming through hard. Some good tackling. We've seen a fair bit of that this morning. Gerke, who's been everywhere so far, he's had 6 kicks, 2 handballs, 8 possessions, and also a goal in this first 22 minutes of this first quarter. Big Sanford puts the ball down. Again, he goes in for the second effort. Tries with his size to break through the pack. Comes back to Viney. Viney dodges one play and needs support. He finds Collins. Collins throws it onto his boot. He's cleared the pack. I think he's put up his first goal for the afternoon, the third one for the Roosters. He has. The Roosters go out now to a 12-point margin.
Collins having a good duel on centre wing with Bruce Lennon, number 17 for the Double Blues. That is a terrific goal. Just thinking that Sturt really are lamenting a bit here. North Adelaide are taking control of this game. They are initiating all the plays, but they just didn't quite have the score on the board, but it looks very healthy now. 3 goals to 1. The Roosters having kicked the last 3.
So the 23-minute mark, this first quarter, the ball tapped down by Feast. Irvin, again a quick kick under pressure. That's been the order of the day. O'Leary waits, looks for an option and then clobbered. He gets a quick handball away to the half-forward line. Now a race between youth and experience, Archie and Phillips, but both beaten by the boundary line on the grandstand side of Football Park.
Been very impressed by the game of Scott Sutherland at half-back. Has taken 2 terrific marks, and that was a tremendous spoil.
A good player is Scotty Sutherland. Ball goes up, Stanfield in the front. This time will take it. He's around there on his body. couldn't quite get his left leg around far enough. The ball's gone out of the full. The big Barry Stanfield, number 43 for the Double Blues. One player, I'm sure, Phil Carman, wants to see kick a few goals this afternoon. So Bretton Phillips from half-back tries to find Rosenberg just over his head. Atkinson should come through and clean this up. He does. He's got support from Archie. Archie inside 50, kicks the ball high. Burton's there. He takes the mark. The umpire will come in to give him his line. He is very tight, tucked away in the pocket. This Burton looked like he's holding the ball for a check side. Comes out onto his right boot. He kicks the ball high. I think he's kicked it. He's happy. The umpire comes back to the centre of the goal square. Terrific goal by Burton. That's his first for the afternoon. Or second for the afternoon, that is.
Well, in a game where the two teams really do match up so well and they have similar styles of play, you just cannot afford to make mistakes like perhaps the most experienced player on the ground there, Brenton Phillips, just made. Very casual in his kick inboard to Wayne Rosenberg. In these conditions, you just have to apply all the basics. Phillips, he knows he's made a mistake there and will really have to make amends.
25 minutes gone. Again, Feast wins the centre bounce. A quick kick forward by O'Leary. Burton on this one. On this occasion, a favourable bounce to Hollett of North Adelaide, and he goes for the safety of the boundary line. Will he make it? Because Brucey Lennon's coming quickly on that ball. Quick kick forward, 20 metres, but goes straight back to Hollett. He kicks long, again, to no one in particular, just going for yardage rather than maybe trying to do what they should be in finding a teammate. Now coming through is Robertson for his Double Blues. Burton all alone, and it goes straight through the fingers. And now, again, going for the boundary line, it'll be Archie who leads the players to that ball.
See the leap of Burton almost taking it, but again, we must emphasise, whilst it isn't raining, it is very wet underfoot.
Well, both coaches yet to use their bench. Big Rosenboom, the strength of Rosenboom up against the experience of Stanfield. A little bit high on Noonan running past you, but that is to be expected. Just considering young Timmy Noonan would only be around about 5'6", 5'7", if that. Around about 170 odd in centimetres. Again, the ball comes back. Play there in Irvine, couldn't quite keep his footing. The ball again slides out over the line.
Number 22, Lyndon Stevens, coming off the ground there for Sturt, and Ben Judd, number 9, on for his first run this afternoon.
Morton should have time now to direct the ball out wide. He finds the big fella in Rosenboom. He'll have support out wide with Vine. He comes inboard. Now we'll need to give the handball out. He does that. Player running through is Warner. Warner goes directly down the middle of the ground. The Roosters have numbers here. Squire picks it up. Had time to steady. Threw it onto his boot. And really a wasted opportunity going forward.
Good build-up by the Roosters. Phil Carman, the coach of the Double Blues, in screen.
Blues go short from full back. Soderstrom to O'Leary, who's been busy in this first quarter. It's been the order of the day, both sides. Their kicking forward has let them down. On this occasion, though, North Adelaide find Morton. Again, the loose man. On this occasion, it's Damien Squire, who, with his left leg, Ken, is kicking from a favourable 45-degree angle.
Yes, and he'd be full of concentration here, having missed an earlier one only moments ago. So he's really got to apply himself to this task. He is a natural left footer and should kick the goal.
Squire will work you through that. You've got a perfect view of that, but the kick off the boot was poor. And so he's second behind.
It really was lacking confidence, wasn't it, that kick? The approach, too close to the man on the mark. He'll really have to reset himself, will Damien Squire, number 24 for North Adelaide.
The captain thread goal, the right leg heavily bandaged. Will bring the ball back in. The umpire indicates he needs to bring it in fairly quickly now. He goes towards the grandstand side. In front there was Davis. And he knocks the ball as far as Atkinson, who kicks the ball up to Archie. Archie, with a bit of strength, and may receive a 25-metre penalty as well. Yes, he does. Good umpiring.
It's good umpiring and tremendous body strength by Archie. He's probably got the build for it, and he was able to use it all to his advantage.
So Dudley Archie, outside of 50, pushed the ball up towards White. At the front there was Judd. Burton comes through as well. Number 10 is Irvine again. We've seen plenty of the football. It's kept in by Weatherall, or has he? No, he hasn't. He's not too happy either, is young Timmy Weatherall. Oh.
You can see here on replay.
Yeah, may have been.
We have to give the umpire the benefit of the doubt there.
Ball thrown back in. Stanfield, was he edged out? He wasn't, was the call by the umpire, or he was by Richard Williams, who was some 50 metres away. Ken?
Well, the first umpire closest to the scene certainly wasn't able to pay the fee, but that's acting that. That's an Academy Award. And he's given the free kick. Well, gee. Back to Brenton Phillips' kick. It really has changed the momentum of the game.
So Big Barry Stanfield in his 7th game, coincidentally, Sturt going for 7 in a row. Stanfield runs in, 20 metres out on a 45-degree angle, off the boot. He may have just squeezed it through. No, he hasn't. The first behind for the day to the Double Blues.
You can see there, like, there's no way that is a free kick. What tremendous play by Atkinson, however, to be able to intercept that handball, and he has again lifted his work rate and become very influential.
Siren only moments away as the ball's kicked forward again. Stanfield couldn't take it. Players just prepared to sit on top of the football. At the bottom of that pack was Scotty Sutherland. With him there is, for the Blues, was young Tim Weatherall. So great opening to the elimination final. The players very committed, showing plenty of courage. The side that loses this game can put their jumpers in the mothball for season 1997. Atkinson sockers the ball forward as we hear the siren to end the first quarter. We've got Double Blues. They're 2 goals, 1-13. They trailed North Adelaide 3 goals, 2-20, and you're seeing the action on ABC Sport.
So the second quarter underway. It's Sturt trailing North Adelaide by 7 points in the elimination final of 1997. And the loser, of course, finishes their 97 campaign. Lennon, the quick kick on the left boot, goes to half forward. Over the top of it, working hard, Ferguson back to Atkinson. Atkinson was prominent early, gives it back to Lennon. A further afield handball finds Ferguson, a long bomb 20 metres out. The loose ball falls. Archie gathers the loose ball, tries to gather it in. No success there as players just fight for it. Burton tackled by Phillips. And look at the intensity, Ken, in the goal square.
Tremendous courage and intent by both teams, but what a magnificent read of the tap out from Bruce Lennon. Really did read the Rosenboom right-hand tap to perfection, and that's the reason the ball is now in the Sturt forward line.
Again, the ball bounced down. On this occasion, White. Unfortunately, though, for him, it's Noonan who finds Morton. Goes for the safety of the boundary line, and Lennon, who has stayed on the grandstand side centre wing and therefore picks up Jay Viney. The first quarter, Kenny, of course, had the duel with Matty Collins.
And I think also had the better of that. So a good move, I think, by Phil Carman to leave him on this wing.
Herbert gets a tap to Atkinson. Atkinson's kick off the ground is Irvin from 45, a left foot kick around the body, thank you. Goal number 1 for Irvin, goal number 3 for the Double Blues.
As rain comes down here at Football Park, what a tremendous goal by the Double Blues. Set up from a throw-in, they were able to just bring it across through centre-half forward area, and Irvin, the natural left footer, playing on the outer wing now, just snapped that through. A brilliant snapshot. We've seen some fine goals. We've seen a great goal from the boundary by Burton, and we've seen a tremendous snapshot from Gerke for North Adelaide, but that probably better than them all.
Archie off Gerke, Lennon it was, coming on. Out of the centre. Opportunity going through and getting away the handball with Squire. Loose ball falls to half forward. Sanford tries to feed it off in the quick handball. A little cute, given the condition. It is now very unsavoury out there in the middle. Heavy rain falling at Football Park, and Parker at half forward does the bullocking work and holds the ball in the area. We've played 2 minutes into the second quarter, and the intensity level has lifted just a notch as the rain has lifted. quite a few. Feast. And another ruck infringement. The umpire's picked it out. It's going the way of Sanford, the bullocking centre half forward. And you suspect that the Roosters' season depends on him and Parker. Can they kick a winning score, the two big men? Feast goes forward. Atkinson had the ball smothered by Morton. Now an opportunity deep in defence. Soderstrom gets it out to Feast. The wet conditions don't suit the big fellow. Now crashing through, it was Weatherall getting away a handball. Morton is working hard. And Ken, we've just heard from our camera crew that Archie's gone straight to the change rooms. Obviously an injury problem.
Yes, and number 18, Andrew Geddes, has come on to replace him at half forward.
Ball thrown back in, grandstand, half forward flank. Gerke, who's been busy in this game, his handball under pressure can only find Feast. The ruckman for the Double Blues, his long kick forward, searching as behind play. Gerke and Lennon go toe-to-toe, and Gerke will be reported, I would say, and he has a go at 2 or 3. So Ken, an elimination final, Gerke arguing, but it was obviously there.
Well, right from the outset of this game, it is North Adelaide that have been the undisciplined aggressors, and it's cost them dearly so far.
Now that's where we pick them up. Lennon and Gerke get up. Now there's not much in that. That happens 100 times. Lennon just gives him a little open-hander. Now I don't think Gerke's, unless he was reported for attempted to striking, I don't think he connected at all.
I think, DB, the camera stopped short. I think he had another punch after this first initial one.
All right, you were there. I'm not sure that any of them connected, Rob.
Back in play, 4 minutes into this second quarter. North Adelaide finds a player we spoke of in Gerke, to Phillips, to Noonan. They go long now to the half-forward line, and the ball will be out of play.
Ken, you were with us round 20, Prospect Oval. There was enormous feeling between the two sides. Sturt opened up and got a big lead, and then North came back at half-time. It was 3 points, and the game in the third quarter was torrid, and it looks to be exactly the same here.
Well, again, David, we must emphasise these two teams do match up so well. They have similar styles of football, and if you just put them man for man all over the ground, there's not a lot of difference in them. It really will come back just to that relentless courage, the ability to initiate and stick to the team procedures, team disciplines.
Irvin's kick is a beauty. Geddes couldn't control it. Burton snaps on the left. It's coming around. The crowd likes it. They're a pro-Sturt crowd. No doubt about that today. And Burton kicks through his third. He's been a star in these conditions.
He certainly has been a star. He's kicked 3 out of 4 goals, lining up at full forward, the big blonde-headed number 5, and they've been, well, they've all just been from different types of shots. That on the left foot snap, well, that is a special goal. Very talented goal. Against Hollett, who is a dower and really doesn't give that much away, but gee, Burton showing him a clean pair of heels here today.
Well, Hollett was in the right position, wasn't he? He expected Burton to come around on the right, and Burton went around on the left.
Feast now. Atkinson under pressure, has a runner. Good work by Richter, straight through the centre of the ground. Go the Double Blues, Burton again. No, went straight through the hands there. And first there for North Adelaide will be Scotty Sutherland, and seeks the safety of the boundary, Ken.
It's the second one that's gone right through Burton. The first one we seen in the first quarter, he went through his hands for a high mark, but that was a chest mark. Hollett right there, though, so perhaps underestimating the real pressure that the defender was putting on.
Just enough pressure. Stanfield will take the ruck contest for Sturt. Rosenboom for North Adelaide couldn't get to the contest. Atkinson upended by Gerke. Gerke's being extraordinarily aggressive, and he's taking the game right up to the Double Blues.
And so you need to in these conditions, like it's really what it's all about. It's well, you play on next week or you don't. It's as simple as that.
6.5 minutes into a torrid second quarter. It was Stanfield winning the tap. Phillips tried to duck the chutney, and Atkinson wrapped him up. No doubt that's holding the ball. Phillips won't be happy, but the umpire was dead right.
Atkinson being a star. Look at that. Tremendous tackle. Held his feet, held his purpose. His intent was to box him up. That's what he did. The distance here, perhaps beyond Brodie.
5 kicks, 7 handballs to Brodie Atkinson. A stellar year, a favourite for this year's Magarey medal, and he pushes it to the point of the square. Lets the big fellows fly and see if the little blokes can take a ball. Hollett couldn't control it, number 5 for Sturt. was 3-goal kicker Julian Burton. He comes up with the ball, and he really has been an impact player in the first quarter and a half of this match.
Ball thrown down, only metres out from the Sturt goals. Desperation's needed, and that's what we get by Geddes for the double blues at the bottom of that pack.
We've seen the stats at quarter time favouring North Adelaide. At the moment, I say what they would be level pegging with Sturt 6 points ahead through better use of the football.
Big tap, going for the safety of the boundary was North Adelaide. Ferguson, a tap off the ground, search for Lennon, whilst behind play, Ferguson and Collins have words. A lot of feeling in this game.
Appears to me, Ken, that the Roosters are trying to just bustle Sturt out of this game and try and get them to lose their composure and their focus.
And it just won't work.
Davis now, out of that full back line. Feast first there. Good work there by the double blues. Again, just finding valuable meterage. Richter, quick kick, under pressure. Well, dropped what he should have taken, Barry Stanfield. And now the North Adelaide side again, almost in desperation, trying to regain their composure under the barrage of Sturt attacking.
You see there the ball quickly kicked out by Richter. Simplest of marks. Under difficult conditions, though, let's emphasise that once again. But back to that element of physical pressure being applied by North Adelaide to try and upset the Sturt side. Like, it just won't work. The experience of Richter, Atkinson, Stanfield, who missed that mark, Lennon here on the members' wing. It just won't work.
As the ball comes back in, Rosenboom uses his bulk beautifully to affect the contest. Gerke couldn't quite control the contest. Warner flicks it out to Davis. A long bomb towards centre-half forward. Now players just bustle and sort themselves out, but at the back it's Feast playing that loose ruckman in defence just beautifully. Pushes it forward. The kick was perfect. The big man did it so well. And Atkinson finds the ball again.
What a delightful mark. Flattened the hands, the double grab in the wet conditions. Perfect football skills, as you're taught from the youngest of age.
Lennon on the chest, a clever one on the left boot, goes forward. White claims it, feeds off the runners. Robinson from halfback, lobs it right in the square. Burton will set fly at this one. Takes charge, takes control. Evil couldn't quite take charge of him. Now he's run his full complement of distance, no worries about that. And the umpire said so. He ran 30 yards with that ball. The umpire had to ping him.
Yes, he did, and consistency paid. They paid one against Archie earlier in the first quarter. No doubt there.
Great bustle.
You'll see on replay here, you'll see Burton pick the ball up. That's about 10-metre mark. Off he goes again. He certainly had it more than the required length of time.
Great bustle by Evil, wasn't it, in defence? Didn't give up the contest at all. He could have, perhaps. Now look at the contest. Players dive over it. Irvin comes up with it, feeds it out wide, just pat it down. Feast again, pushing the ball forward. Judd over the top, but tried to flick it out to Soderstrom. But Noonan was the tackler, and this little fella's done pretty well so far too. Feeding it back out as Robertson. And that one is a free kick.
It's the high tackle there by Parker. Perfect umpiring decision.
Get the feeling that in these conditions, Ken, that the style of game North Adelaide play, the overusage sometimes of the ball, really, the weather isn't conducive to it.
Well, it isn't, but I think the McDermott factor has been very influential. I think he's eliminated a lot of the overuse, the multiple handballs. He's brought them more often. They come to the inside than going wide, and I think that's the reason they are playing off in this final here today. I've been very impressed with North Adelaide's style of football. I enjoy watching them play football. Today, where they're making the mistake so far is they're going the body rather than ball. They've really got to focus up on the football and let their natural players take over, like Parker and the big fellow in centre-half forward, Sanford. They're two focal points. The others have to crumb from there, and you get running, skidding goals from the smalls, if you like. Like today, multiple goals, 10 goals probably going to win the game.
Now we just saw there Noonan to Morton to Gerke, and that's been the status of play for most of the first half, and that is the reason that North have been a solid performer right throughout the year. Of course, they did have Lehman and also Shane Hodges. Hodges out today with a fractured knee, courtesy of Danny Holm last week at Prospect Oval, where he cannoned into the gutter and unfortunately fracture.
You've seen that young fellow walk up the stairs here to watch his teammates at Football Park. It's a very hard task to watch your mates in a final. But unfortunately, blokes have to do it every year.
Morton, who's starring, goes long towards half forward on the left boot. Collins took front position, but Robertson crashed through. Richter feeds it out to Seamus Maloney, who just breaks 3 tackles but couldn't get through the 4th. North Adelaide are coming at them, and they're coming hard, and Robinson goes to ground with the ball.
And that's the aggression that coach Chris McDermott would be looking for. Aggression at the ball, at the man, but not to hurt the man. You've got to dispossess the man. That's tremendous football by North Adelaide. Just weight of numbers as they charge for the footy.
Ball thrown down, Feast, nice tap to Judd, quick hands to Lennon, nice work the double blues. A kick to open space, cut off brilliantly though by North Adelaide as Ferguson waited for the North Adelaide side. It was Warner who cut it off in the pass. A good contest this, and young Robertson weaves in brilliantly between 2 double blues players, and then from a standing start, a brilliant kick finds Squire.
What a special sidestep by number 46 in Robinson.
Squire now, outside 50, Feast. The Rock of Gibraltar, a kick behind the play for the double blues, now changes direction of play and has Irvin all by his lonesome. A quick kick over the top. Who's going to be first there? This will require courage, and that's what you got. Atkinson committed himself and opened up space for Richter. He now kicks long, searching for White, and Holland takes the ball over the boundary.
That's tremendous commitment by both players to an awkward ball. Both players at full stretch, both bounced up. How's the way, just like a cat, Atkinson back up on his feet and kept running. He wasn't going to show anybody that had hurt him.
6 points the margin in favour of the double blues. We're 14 minutes into the second term of this cutthroat elimination final. A highlight year for the double blues. After winning the wooden spoon for the last 8 years, they've finished 4th in the minor round series this year. They lead by 6 points, but there's plenty of fight in the Roosters. And we've seen all year they really have fought back occasionally from some quite hopeless positions to win matches. Davis just floats one forward. Squire front position brings the ball forward. Second effort with Sanford was good. Robertson, Deviney back on the overflow as Noonan working very hard out of the middle. Now Collins, who's coming into the match. His last month has been quiet. Today he's been solid. Pearce has one forward. Jeffrey's got 2 hands to the ball. Couldn't quite hold it, and in the contest pushing it out wide was O'Leary. But it comes back just as quickly. Collins around the corner has a snap. Did Feast get a hand to that? I think he did. And it's a point.
Such is the pressure that both teams are applying to each other. Both players on both teams really aren't understanding the freedom that they have at times. Collins there perhaps could have finished better with that opportunity when he tried to pick out Jeffries amongst 2 Sturt defenders. Perhaps would have been better off going over the top and letting the ball skid through in these wet conditions.
15 minutes into this elimination final second quarter. The Blues go forward. Stanfield a mark. Play on to the call. A quick kick under pressure. Who's going to be first there? Atkinson commits himself, as you'd expect, to Weatherall, whose quick handball found Irvin. His kick under pressure. Ferguson, and on this occasion, Warner. The call is a throw, the free kick to Ferguson.
King off, Armstrong on, as the kick comes into Judd. On the grandstand wing, he just grabs one forward. Armstrong, who just hasn't even had an opportunity to warm up yet, has to compete straight away. Davis dives on top of the ball. And Ken, this is not pretty football, but the pressure is extreme.
Pressure is enormous, and I think that's a good move by coach Chris McDermott. Armstrong, number 26, very fleet of foot, an opportunist, and I think given a bit of space could be very lethal in these conditions.
We saw that last week in ruck infringement against Rosenberg. The umpire says he pushed him out of the contest, and Stanfield will take the kick from 60 metres out. Now with a wet ball, he's not a chance to score, so he'll lob it right to the square, let the big fellows compete, and the little guys run onto it, but great defensive work from Hollett. Punch that ball straight to the line and out of play.
There's Hollett, number 35 at fullback, and Davis putting the right fist also up there, number 5 at centre half back for North Adelaide. Very likely looking prospect, Davis.
He is indeed. Rosenboom on this occasion against Stanfield. First there, Morton. Been busy, runs straight, but goes to the outer side and kicks to an open space. First there for the double blues. No, it'll be Parker coming way up from his full forward position. He's actually been changed to centre half forward, you'd expect.
Yes, I think Parker has been alternating out of the key full forward area.
I think they might
half forward.
I think they moved him to half forward flank. Jeffries is the stay-at-home full forward in the square. Not a bad move to get Sanford and Parker competing for the ball at half forward.
Parker has good defensive element ethic in his forward play, and you need that in these conditions.
The play we just spoke of, Sanford got a tap down to Morton. He was tackled heavily by Richter. Legally was the call by the umpire, and North Adelaide edged it forward, but the kick off the ground was touched. So therefore a boundary throw-in.
He's nearly dropping the ball there. Tremendous tackle by Richter on Morton.
Half forward line. North Adelaide into attack. Sturt lead by 5 points. Feast against Sanford. Sanford gets the tap. On this occasion can't find a teammate. Feast has been very good for the Double Blues. Mixes it on the air and on the ground, or in the air and on the ground. As again, Morton is the last player to get to his feet.
18 minutes gone, second term, elimination final. 5 points the margin now in favour of the Double Blues. And it's been a low-scoring affair, as you would expect in these conditions. Morton, who has just been outstanding today, another possession. 17 kicks and 4 handballs, and we've not hit half-time. It's off hands and through for a behind. Ken, you've got to suggest 21 possessions, 18 minutes into the second quarter, is an unbelievable personal achievement.
Well, it's an outstanding performance, playing as a rover. AFL talent scouts here in numbers today would certainly have them high up in their estimations. Has played AFL, formerly with Fitzroy.
So we see Geddes come off the field for the Double Blues. The Double Blues now go forward. Again, there's plenty of open space if you're prepared to kick to it. On this occasion, Hollett was first there for the Roosters. And under pressure, again, kicks to the advantage of young Gerke. Geddes there. Solid contributor for the Double Blues this year, Dave Mackay.
Yes, he has been recruited, 4 or 5 years ago by the Crows without making any impact at all at Crowland. But it appears that he seems to have settled down and not being required to go back and forth with the Crows. This clearly has been his best year for the Double Blues. Noonan off the ground, pushes it forward. Parker just couldn't take a clean possession. Atkinson again provided the pressure. Sanford thumps it forward. Lennon, Atkinson. He's working beautifully today. Robinson, Richter, inboard. Stanfield, that's holding the ball.
Yes, ducked his head, and the correct decision given by the umpire. Allowed to play on through Armstrong, and a tremendous kick.
Armstrong's kick is pin-perfect one to Jeffries, whose second effort was fantastic. Picks it up, goes for the check side, tries to bend it back, but look at this. Sanford deep in the pocket, marks in front of thread goal, and he'll need his best kick with a wet ball to put this one through.
The wind, however, by the look of the flags, just might be favouring him, and Burton has already put one through from there this afternoon. There's no doubt that it's a difficult shot, though.
Check side, banana kick, depending on where you come from, with a wet ball, and big fellas, as a rule, don't handle them terribly well. This time...
That's a master kick.
Well, I'll let you take it, kid.
That is a tremendous kick. If we can see that on replay, the way that he just had his head and shoulders, body over the ball, tremendous kick. Just look at this, he's confident all the way. In he comes, just perfect.
In those sort of situations, Ken, they've only got inches to work with, and it has to be perfect. And with a wet ball makes it all that much harder, but Glenn Sanford, pinpoint perfect.
So the key forwards are really showing their skills for both teams here today.
Feast to contest the ruck. Up against, again, Rosenboom. Would suggest Rosenboom got the tap, but only went as far as Atkinson. Ferguson, as has been the order of the day, slips at a crucial stage. And now North Adelaide, through weight of numbers, should go for the safety of the boundary line.
Ken, we've talked about players slipping. There's a different type of courage required today, isn't it? It's the courage to keep your footing in the contest and stay in the contest. A lot of players can use it to go to ground and blame the conditions.
Yes, that's right. You can certainly pull the excuses out if you want to, but there's just nowhere to hide here today.
Stanfield beaten in the air, but Atkinson again, winner on the ground. His quick kick forward was touched off the boot. Play on to the call. North Adelaide out of trouble, but only momentarily, because Robinson, moving up from a half-back line, takes a chest mark.
Back to that point, David, when two sides are so evenly matched in a final, it comes back to honesty and courage. A bit of luck, sure, but really you make your own through the initiating the play.
North Adelaide, as far as Feast, whose handball blindly found Squire. He now in turn finds the skipper in Viney, who kicks long, but is it an accurate kick? It isn't. And I felt as though Jeffries come in late, and rightly so. I feel DB will be reported.
I think it was just way too late. He had the opportunity of pulling out of the contest. He was a long way from the contest, and there's an aggressive frame of mind to get into. But when you're that far from the contest, I think you've got an obligation just to hold the player, perhaps even put his arm out to hold him and stop him from playing on. I think the umpire, quite rightly, has pulled out the book.
You can see there's obviously plenty of time.
And he's come in with the knee. I mean, that's a different form of aggression and not required.
And the verbal lashing as well, as he was...
he launched into it.
The report's the right thing.
Been disappointed because Jeffries' season has been fantastic. He's kicked, 41 goals for the year. He's been a focal point for them up there. And generally, you'd say that he's a very fair player, very fair.
And with a game so evenly matched, Coach Chris McDermott would be livid at the moment to see two of his players reported, Richard Gerke and now this fellow in Jeffries. And both have resulted in Sturt free kicks. The possession is just so paramount.
Well, Parker's kicked 41 for the year, but Jeffries got 40, so if he loses one of his key forwards for the rest of the finals, it takes a huge impact away from your forward structure. Way too late.
It was. I think sometimes, Ken, you commit yourself to a ball that you feel as though you may get there, but on that occasion, you was obviously, 2 or 3 steps too late. The ball back, though, in play. Gerke to Phillips. Towards the centre of the ground here at Football Park. Elimination final time. Parker has a runner in Phillips, who's moved up from the full-back line well. A lead to the player we spoke of, Jeffries. Dropped a chest mark. Richter picks it up. To the accolades of the Sturt supporters. And now the skipper in Viney for a long searching handball. Noonan back to Viney. Sidesteps Archie, who's come back onto the field for the double blues, and he's kicked to the half-forward line. Finds the Roosters. Jeffries now. Booed by the Sturt supporters. His right foot kick inboard goes to Richter. He's been a solid contributor today and kicks for the safety of the boundary and finds it.
Gee, it'll be interesting to see the psychology of an umpire like Jeffries there, where he led hard for that Phillips kick. Almost was pushed directly in the back, but no way was a free kick going to be played because of the previous indiscretion.
I think it'll show a fair amount of character in terms of Jeffries' approach to his footy. As we mentioned earlier, he's been a very fair player throughout the year. He's been reported in a pretty unsavoury incident. The ball comes forward, he misses a chest mark, and important time for the player. Phil Carman out on the boundary just screaming at his players. He is revved up. Noonan over the top of it, handballs it forward, but Nathan Irvin just affected the smother on the handball, and the tempo of this game has just dropped another notch or two just for the moment.
It's interesting, Ken, to see how players think. We spoke of 2 players who were reported, Gerke and also Jeffries. What goes through their mind now? Because there's a hell of a lot of game to be played, and it'll obviously be playing havoc with their minds.
Exactly, but you've got to get it out of your mind, like the job's to be done, and this might be their last game for the season, perhaps, just depending on the tribunal and the result, but gee, you've got to do your best while you're out there. You can't be sooking.
Gerke now around the body for North Adelaide. Go forward again. Parker finds far too much room for a key position player. And will kick from 30 metres out. And dare I say, an impossible angle.
But I think, again, just looking at the flags here at Football Park, the wind might just be favouring, blowing from the top of the goal square into the goals. A heavy ball it will be at this stage of the game, late in the second quarter. Just might be able to pull something out of nothing here, Parker, and put it through.
Parker now. A drop punt. Again, will need to be pinpoint perfect. Don't tell me. He's done it again. That's the 3rd goal we've seen from that almost exact possession. The 1st for Brendan Parker. And now the 5th for North Adelaide.
And that's a tremendous goal in the context of the game too. Late in the time zone of the second quarter when North Adelaide really have, I guess, arrested the Sturt dominance perhaps through the mid part of this quarter. Bruce Lennon started the quarter in sensational fashion. Atkinson has continued it all the way, but Sturt now, North Adelaide now just perhaps starting to get back on top.
An 8-point lead to the Roosters as we go into the 27.5-minute mark of the second quarter. Gerke, who drifted out for a few moments after his report, handballs it back to Noonan, who grubbers one forward. Maloney pushed it wide, still Geddes picks it up, drives it towards the outer wing where Davis streaks after it, picks it up like it's a dry ball. Stanfield was right on him, tackles him, he got away the handball, and the umpire comes in and says it was a fair effort, I'll have a bounce.
Good tackle by Stanfield, equal to the tremendous pickup by Davis.
Margin was 7 points in favour of North Adelaide. Sturt got back in front, and North Adelaide have steadied. Well, it's been a real counter-punching exercise. Two welterweights feeling each other out and then belting them.
Goal-face pressure just means so much in any game of football, particularly in finals, and we've seen some special goals kicked from, well, right deep in the pocket here today. Two in this quarter by North, which basically is the difference. Had they missed, then perhaps it would be Sturt in front.
Stanfield dives on top of it again. He's very good, isn't he, Ken, at holding the ball in his area. If he can't get it out cleanly, he makes sure that nobody else does.
Yeah, Stanfield has a tremendous work rate. And I think it's certainly worth persevering with by the Crows, as it just might be in time that he becomes a pretty handy player for them.
Lennon now works the ball forward to the double Blues. Holland, who's been a rugged defender for the North Adelaide side all year. Today's no exception. He's been moved further up the ground and he works the ball towards the boundary line. Has he found it? He hasn't though. And now Ferguson, a quick kick. Nice kick too. Judd maybe dropped what he should have taken. Davis, a brilliant smother by Ferguson. Work the ball forward, does he? He does. And he was pushed in the back. No, was the call by umpire Richard Williams.
And that passage of play really did show it all from the 1%er point of view. You can see Davis here. Tremendous smother there. The Sturt player. Earlier we seen Brenton Phillips lay a magnificent shepherd on to allow Hollick to bring the footy to the boundary. What great skill by Morton.
Good work by Morton. Who's going to win this contest though? First there's going to be Burton. Davis though, can he get a run on? He can. Burton under trouble. Handballs brightly over the back. And now, fortuitously for double Blues, Weatherald has a runner. It's Danforth. Quick hands are required. He didn't have time. White threads one through to Irvin. Was he taken too high? He wasn't. Dropping the ball.
Great work, Eagle.
Eagle shifted to full back to stop Burton, who's kicked 3 goals. Lays his tackle on. It might have been too high.
Oh, look, he just held on for grim death, didn't he? I just thought, great courage. It's very difficult. Cold hands to hold a player like that as he's trying to get away. Eagle was just fantastic. Just his body, yeah.
Just about had to be too high though, didn't it?
Got him on the scruff of the collar, dragged him down. Now Parker, claimed. The tackling of this match has been fantastic. Atkinson has been a forceful tackler. As the halftime siren sounds here at Football Park, it's halftime in the elimination final with North Adelaide 5-4-34 leading Sturt 4-2-26. The margin 8 points. You're seeing all the action on ABC Sport. So at halftime of the elimination final, it's Sturt 4-2-26 trailing North Adelaide 5-4-34. And the margin 8 points. Burton has kicked 3 wonderful goals for the double Blues, and Irvin has one. Jeffries, who was reported during the second quarter, has one. Sanford solid at centre half forward. Collins off a half forward flank. Gerke out of the middle also has one. Mark and Rob statistically not much in it, although North have the ascendancy in kicks.
We see there's still the handballs up and on target for about 100 handballs a game, but kicks are up and hit outs favouring North Adelaide.
So the second half underway at Football Park, the elimination final of 1997, with the Roosters leading by 8 points. Loose ball falls to Richter. He gets the kick away out of the middle. There's plenty of players at it. Morton was solid at it. Finally it flicks out to Vine, who goes through half forward. Squire couldn't control it. Collins does. He's dragged down off the ball. Play on, said the umpire, as Squire forces the ball into the forward pocket and over the top of it, getting the kick away. Appeared to be Wharton who's come on, it would seem. Soderstrom fights hard for it. Squire just bustles his way through traffic. Richter cleverly to Weatherall over the top. Now this is the running unit of the Double Blues. They're matching Sturt in this department. To half forward goes the kick. The big fly from Getty. Well, we'll pick him up
Judd,
shortly.
I think, David.
Yeah, it was. Judd couldn't bring it to ground. And Collins now with the free at half forward.
Collins goes forward. Nice kick too. Feast in front. Bustled out, I thought. But Jura keeps the ball in play. Handball over the top to Weatherall. He looks, searches long for Irvin. Under pressure. And in fact infringed upon by Jay Viney. Irvin, who's been busy today for the Double Blues, will again send the Double Blues forward. Phillips in front, ducked ahead at the crucial stage. A tap forward now finds Stanfield, who, rather than pick the ball up, kicks the ball off the ground.
Yeah, terrible option there by Big Barry Stanfield. Maybe should have a little bit more voice between the two players. They had three players on one. Maybe a little bit of shepherding, a little bit of blocking. They would have got that ball out of that area and up forward.
I can tell you that the captain of the Double Blues, Chris Threadgold, failed to come back on to the ground after half-time, so he'll be sorely missed for this Double Blue outfit. The ball thrown back in. Stanfield at the bottom of the pack.
The rain had stopped here at Football Park. The conditions still very, very heavy. But I hope they will improve by our second game this afternoon, which is a qualifying final between Port Adelaide and Central District.
Atkinson, who's been solid all day, floats the ball towards half forward. Phillips unable to control it and get it clear. Archie over the top. Tim Noonan, number 12 for North Adelaide. And at the true centre-half forward position, there'll be a bounce. Archie, who spent quite a deal of the second quarter on and off the bench with injury, replaced at times by Geddes. Umpire Richard Williams puts the ball in the air. Dead heat that one. Sutherland over the top of it. 25. 9 is Morton at the bottom of that pack. And 5 is Davis for North Adelaide.
So umpire Richard Williams, centre half forward for the Double Blues. Atkinson, left foot kick forward only as far as Davis, who under pressure kicks to open space. Jay Vine will be first there for the Roosters. A quick kick but short as he found a teammate he has.
Free downfield, I think.
Scott
Robbie.
Sutherland. He in turn goes short as well to Noonan. Looks further upfield. In front is Parker. Behind his Feast. He brings the ball to ground. And now Batura. That solid rebounding full back line player. Long handball to Lennon. Straight down the centre of Football Park they go. Stanfield to ground. Phillips though to Viney. It's been the order of the day. And Viney again goes short to Armstrong, who plays on quickly. Rebounding half-back line for both sides. An even midfield and an even game here between Sturt and North Adelaide. Now Batura again goes forward. Len will be first there. Can he get a favourable bounce? He can't because it's Warner now who goes short. Now it's going to be Gurke and he handballs to Sanford, who's in all sorts of trouble, and a free kick to Soderstrom.
Very predictable. Coming through the middle there was Gurke. We see Big Sanford couldn't break the tackle. Great, strong tackle shown by Mark Soderstrom.
O'Leary with the left boot. It's O'Leary who's replaced Threadgold at fullback. I thought it might have been Wharton earlier, but Sturt have made the change, as Rob Popplestone told you earlier. And Threadgold, who was felled with a knee by Mark Jeffries late in the second quarter. Jeffries was reported in that incident. Sanford thumps it down. Jay Viney off the ground, pushes it forward. Soderstrom, a former North Adelaide player who went to Glenelg and now with the Double Blues, forces it forward. Davis, the John Rantel lookalike, goes forward. Weatherall, that's too high. And a free kick going the way of the little Double Blue rover. Jay Viney just gives him a little coat hanger mark. How do you do?
They're trying to hit the football.
Weatherall to half forward. Big fly from behind was Rosenboom, and he's hurt his hand in that thump. And now there's a throw in. So light rain just sprinkling Football Park. We're 5 minutes into the third quarter, and Sturt trailed North Adelaide by 8 points.
Stanfield will contest against Rosenboom. Neither player had a real touch of that ball. But now Stanfield does some heavy work. Also there for Viney. Gee, there's some gritty work there, Mark Noley.
Yeah, just watching Jay Viney. They're trying to break 3 tackles. Maybe he was a bit lucky not to be penalised for holding the ball.
Herbert on this occasion. In fact, Rosenboom gets a tap again. Atkinson, that first quick kick.
Their first goal, whoever can get first blood in the second half will make the difference. At the moment, we've seen North Adelaide up by 8 points. That first goal would extend their lead to 14, and that may be just enough in these conditions.
Stanfield rucking for the double blues in the forward line. This occasion times his run perfectly. A tap down only as far as Davis. A quick toe poke by Weatherald only goes as far as North Adelaide's Warner. A long kick. Sanford's his target. Couldn't grab the ball. Finding hard is Robinson for the double blues. And again, North Adelaide hold the ball in the area.
By Derek Woodcock, throws the ball in the air. Feast it was who thumped it down. Atkinson steals it away. Tackled by Noonan. Goes to ground. There'll be another bounce. Noonan has been an important cog for the Roosters this year. Missed last week with concussion.
Yeah, he's had 17 possessions so far in the game. Both him and Morton have come out after half-time. Neither player is being picked up by a Sturt opponent and is being tagged, I mean, David.
Atkinson, 21 possessions, goes to half-forward Ferguson. Hard at it with Brad Warner. Warner over the top of the ball, did pretty well. Just flicked it out in the finish to Rosenboom. No throw, says the umpire. Armstrong, who started the game on the bench and has made a bit of an impact since coming on. That's his 5th possession since coming on midway through the second quarter, goes forward. But Parker bustles it, and the ball finally finishes out of play. Parker, a bullocking type of forward. 29 is Sanford, who's kicked 17 goals in his 16 games this year at centre-half forward, and another important player in the Roosters' finals drive. There's Parker. He's also been very strong in the forward line, an important player for them. 41 goals from 20 games coming into this match. And Sanford picks up a free for being pushed in the back. He dived on the ball, earned the free kick. Outside of 50, 62 metres out, goes long forward. Robinson, front position, couldn't bring it to ground. Robinson back to Pachura. Pachura's second half of the season has been outstanding. Off it goes to Richter. On the left boot, an ungainly kick. Gathering in, Viney, claimed, goes to ground. Parker it was who gets the handball out to Jeffries, reported in the second quarter. He gets away the handball, but it's stolen by Irvin, who grubbers one along the boundary line, looking for the line. But just inside, it's Davis, who gathers it in, claimed by Judd. Robertson brings it in board, a clever kick in the finish, and finds Gerke. Gerke needs support, called to Cook, play on by the umpire, lifts the eyes, chips it in short, and Phillips from a half-back flank runs inside 50 and goes long to the goals. The veteran heads towards goal, but it's a point.
Just good persistence shown there by the Roosters. They just kept the ball, held the ball in their area beautifully. Gerke went 2 ways there, but it put the ball across to that running half-back line, or that running half-backer in Brenton Phillips.
O'Leary assumes the position of taking the kick-ins from behind and found Feast, who plays on now to Soderstrom. Good duel between himself and Sanford today. His kick, though, looking for Burton, can't find that player. He's obviously been moved from full forward to centre-half forward in an attempt to stop the ball rebounding off that half-forward line of the double blues. Davis will have there, as we see there, will have the job on Burton. Sensational player for the North Adelaide side. Burton contests the ruck. First there, who else? Atkinson. Can he find a teammate with this kick? He goes searching for Stanfield. The ball punched over the boundary line.
Stanfield, Rob has gone to full forward. Burton to centre-half forward. He picked it up pretty well.
I have to disagree there. I think Archie is playing full forward at the moment.
Okay.
Staying the square, and I reckon Stanfield is at actually centre-half forward, working between it.
In a forward pocket, I think.
Forward pocket, possibly, but it's very hard. I mean, the way that they are setting up, they're not setting up in the traditional 3 players across the forward line, also the half-forward line. They are staggering it across that forward line. Especially playing a 4-man forward line. That's what they're doing at the moment.
Ball inside the 50 for Sturt. Rosenboom, a tap down. Atkinson fights hard. Ferguson, quick hands, Weatherald, here's a chance. A quick kick. I think it's hit the post, it has. Timmy Weatherald, a quick kick in difficult circumstances, Mark Noley.
You see some good hands given across there to Weatherall. Weatherall just bringing maybe the ball back to the top of the square, just couldn't bring it back far enough.
Noonan back to Phillips. A long bomb to the far side. The big fly was up. Sanford, 2 bites at the cherry. He's got it. Now it is drying out at Football Park. The rain has stopped. That was a tremendous mark to the centre forward. He bustles his way through, pushes it back to the true centre forward position, but Feast has dropped into the hole. Feeds it out to Irvin, who's working hard. A wide ball. Now this is the Double Blues downfall, I suspect. They've played very wide the last quarter or so. Back it comes from Wharton, now on the field. A high ball from Patura to half forward. Wharton needs to work hard, but Rosenboom, beautifully placed, marks at half back. Very little movement, so he goes long towards Sanford at centre half forward. Feast again dropping back. Marks strongly, the big fellow. That's his ninth, his 6th mark, 7th mark. And now it's Wharton. Former Port Adelaide player, finding a new home with the Double Blues the last few years and gets a run in the elimination final. Stanfield, playing by Hollett. Hollett is a dour defender and rarely too far away from his opponent.
A mean look that he gives his opponents. Not one of the most prettiest footballers running around the field at the moment. Really is, as you said, he's just tough and strong. And very determined to get the ball away from his opponents.
Stanfield, who's been solid without being outstanding today. A tap down only as far as Morton. He goes towards the centre of the ground. Who's first there? Patura. He's quick. Parker fights hard behind him. Patura kicks the ball off the ground under pressure. Now the race is on. Lennon up against his opponent there in Armstrong. And yet another boundary throw-in to take place.
Maybe Patura then, maybe a little bit of voice needed to be used. Patura had the time and the space to be able to bend down and pick that ball up before.
Gerke.
Sorry, Rob.
Fighting hard there he was for North Adelaide. He's been a busy player, Dave Mackay.
Yes, and also reported early in the second quarter, Richard Gerke. A little toe-to-toe with Bruce Lennon. But I don't know that there was a great deal in the incident, frankly. Now, if they perhaps report him for attempting to strike, might be a different matter. And Atkinson working hard. Now, I admire Noonan and Atkinson, the way they've gone about their game today, and also Morton. Gerke's been solid too with 21 possessions already. There's a free kick. No, said the umpire. Play on. Loose ball falls. Off the ground went Ferguson. Atkinson picks up the loose ball, bends it back around the corner cleverly to Lennon. Did it go the required distance? 15 and 8 to Atkinson. 23 possessions. He's finding plenty of it. Archie pushes and shoves. Loose ball falls. Who'll come at it? It spills free out the back door, and picking it up and running it across the line in the finish was Wharton.
You'd think at this time of the game that Wharton would try to do everything to keep that ball in the area instead of running it out over the line. It was a live ball that should have been kept in and something done with it.
Sturt desperate to put a major on this scoreboard. Rosenboom gets a tap. Archie held without the ball. Play on's the call. Stanfield finding hard. Big boom boom comes straight through, as does Wharton for the Double Blues. And again a bounce down.
Sturt using a lot of energy at the moment. The ball has been up in their forward line for 10 minutes of this 14-minute mark of this third quarter. But a big plus has been Simon Feast back there. Every time the ball does come out, big fellow and Simon Feast is there to mark it.
Burton gets a tap down. Atkinson's tackled by 3 North Adelaide opponents. But again, importantly for the Double Blues, keeps the ball in his area. Stanfield again against Rosenboom. Rosenboom has superior body strength, but his tap down found Burton. He was dispossessed, and now Morton lays it off. Good work, North Adelaide. They get themselves out of trouble, but only momentarily, I'd suggest. In fact, the ball's out of play.
Seamus Maloney disappointed with the result there. Boundary umpire was right on the job, however. And I think as he went to steady, he might have just run across the line. Oof. Well, the umpire couldn't have been in any better position, could he? Wharton and Davis. Wharton out there, I'm sure, to make sure that North Adelaide don't out-bustle them. And the free kick goes to Noonan. So Noonan takes the ball at half-back. We didn't pick up the reason. But he's worked pretty hard. 9 kicks and 9 handballs, 18 possessions. You don't see the little push-ons that don't register on the stat sheets or the tackles, the effects. Viney through traffic. Former Sturt captain. And now there's another free.
Well, that was a pretty tough call. What beautiful work done by Jay Viney. Plus the Sturt players run across the mark. The umpire has missed that.
Well, that's no free. There's no way that was a free kick. Jeffrey's front position. Robertson tried to crash through. Now that one might ping him here. No, he gave him the benefit of the doubt, but he had the opportunity of disposing of the ball. Tried to crash the tackle, and the umpire would have been quite in his rights to play a free. Got up, took him on.
He's tackled maybe as he was going forward.
Okay.
Benefit of the doubt.
Comment Mark Nayley. Maloney through the midfield. Rosenboom playing the relative kick behind play ruckman, the same as Feast. Noonan to Sanford. A high ball. Now who's home for North Adelaide? Underneath this one. Oh, it's been marked by Morton. The little Rover's got it, and he is starring today. Easily best on the ground at this stage of the match. And he's got 25 possessions already.
He's gone head-to-head today with Brody Atkinson. They've both got the same amount of possessions at the moment between Morton and also Atkinson. And really, Morton, the way that he's gone about his day, if he kicks his goal, really will make it very difficult for Double Blues to stay in it. I know it's only early times.
30 games with Fitzroy in the AFL. And he's kicked into the man on the mark. Feast did it beautifully. Took 4 steps back and then 4 steps forward and effected a smother. Very clever, Feast.
Well done by the big fella. Plus he's 6'5". It does help when you put an arm up.
O'Leary now for the Double Blues. Long kick, strong kick, nearly towards the centre of the ground. Lennon taps it forward for the Blues, then loses his footing. That's important a day like today. A quick kick around the corner, Armstrong. Coming through is Robinson. He's strong but can't gain possession. Atkinson's quick and clever. His handball towards Weatherall. He loses possession. Armstrong to young Robinson. A left foot kick around the body blindly over the boundary line.
Enjoyed the skills today of Atkinson and Morton. Mark 2 favourites for our Magarey medal on Tuesday night. Join us 8:30 live from the Football Park Convention Centre. And can Andrew Jarman win his second medal? He won it, of course, in '87, and he's the red-hot favourite this year. A ruck infringement. It's coming back the way of Feast, who's also been a great player, and the Double Blues mark effect a change.
Yeah, change has been made. Ferguson is coming off for the Double Blues, and coming on is Lyndon Stevens.
Okay. You know much about this Lyndon Stevens?
He hasn't done too much, Lyndon Stevens. It's only his 9th game for the club.
Atkinson at the back. Sutherland cleverly across the line. Former Sturt player. I think he'd be relishing this role today, wouldn't he, against his former club?
Oh, definitely. We just look at it there. And
so too Atkinson.
Atkinson as well, playing against his former club.
Ferguson, the former Adelaide Uni full forward, playing at half forward today, gets a rest on the bench.
Gerke now. Hollett under pressure. Atkinson's been very good for the Double Blues. You get the feeling, Nails, that if Sturt can get the next goal, obviously we've got a game on our hands. So we see Hollett there.
You don't count that as a stat, do you?
If North Adelaide get the next goal, well, it'll be tough work for the Double Blues, Nails, but if Sturt can, we really have got a great game on our hands. Double Blues now, still searching for that elusive goal. You see the North Adelaide bench. Stanfield against Rosenboom, infringed upon, I thought. Atkinson fights hard, as does Phillips. Lyndon Stevens gets his first touch. Wasn't effective though, and now Gerke with room to move. Runs from the half-back line. A quick kick to space. Geddes will be first there from the Double Blues. Hot on his hammer was Squire. Geddes kick to the half-forward line. Judd underneath it, punched to the boundary line by North Adelaide once more. Near 20 minutes gone of this third quarter.
Good crowd building up. Double header, the elimination final, Sturt and North Adelaide. Of course, the qualifying final between Central District and Port Adelaide starting at 3:20 this afternoon. Two great clashes. And you just feel, Mark, that perhaps Sturt or North, it's a shame that one of them has to go out given the form at the moment of Port Adelaide and Central.
Yeah, that later game between Port and Central is really both sides haven't been in very good touch of late, especially
Port have lost 4 of their last 5.
and Centrals have lost the last 3 in a row. 2 sides have finished in the bottom 3. So at the moment, I mean, these 2 sides have been very, very impressive over the last month of football.
Rosenborg thumps it down to Morton, who kicks it out of bounds on the full. The pressure's still there. It's still a final, and there's still plenty of pressure 21 minutes into the third term.
This really is set to make a real fantastic last quarter. At the moment, we're seeing Sturt only registered 1 point this quarter. North Adelaide have picked up, I think there's 1 goal, 2 so far this quarter.
It's not going to be a high-scoring affair. Archie, you're right, playing it full forward, dragged off the ball by Sutherland. Burton goes in for a second effort, dives on top of the ball, and Phillips is not happy.
You see Burton going there fairly late over the top of Phillips. Just made sure he felt the tackle as he did go down. But in these sort of conditions, those things are to be expected.
Stanfield thumps it down. Phillips claims the tackle on Wharton. Davis is there also to wrap him up. So it's 2-on-1. The contest, it's still tight. It's only a 9-point ball game favouring the Roosters. It was 7 points at quarter time, and at half time it was 8. Only a couple of kicks in it. Still anyone's game. Rosenborg thumps it down. Desperate work again. Davis over the top of it, forced it forward. Phillips dives on top of it. Morton there, and Wharton, well, take 3.
In a situation like this, more often than not, the umpire will look for a free kick just to open up the play. Both sides will be aware of that now. Stanfield easily out-bustled in strength, we've mentioned. On this occasion, Hollett comes over the top to Phillips. He attempts to get a quick kick. Again, bodies from both sides fighting hard for the ball, but again, umpire Ron Bettrich comes in to ball up as we see Chris McDermott, the coach of the North Adelaide side, Nails, sitting there quite content, you'd suggest, at the moment.
It's not too often you see both coaches coaching from their bunker, as we'll call it. Most coaches these days, you will find, especially here, they will sit up in the glass boxes.
Just a little thought there. Chris McDermott, with the arms folded, looked a touch like a young Jack Odie.
I'm not touching that one.
It's a bit before my time. Don't remember Jack Odie.
Just had that contented air about him. Archie over the top. Sutherland applies the tackle. Comes again. Phillips off the ground. Viney applies the tackle. And it is desperate days out there. This is probably the telling time of the game, isn't it, Mark? 23.5 minutes into the third quarter. Just look at this for desperation, Ish. Firstly by Archie. That second lunge to get towards the football. Soccer off by Viney. Coming in again there was Judd. Again over the top. I mean, just great desperation, great intensity by both sides. They realise this game has to be won if they're going to stay in this competition. Judd feeds it out to Irvin, who goes towards full forward. 3-on-1 back in the contest. Archie, what can he do? He's very clever. Oh, that's a great snap, a team lifter. Archie gets his first for the Double Blues, and the Blue Army go berserk in the grandstand. Archie pulls out a fantastic miracle goal right when the Double Blues need it, and they now trail by only 3 points. Look at this good kick to the top of the square. The North players, the ball went straight through the hands. Archie had the player inside, he wanted to use him. He decided to snap around his body. And I said a little bit of magic about Dudley Archie when he gets hold of the football.
Ball thrown down centre of the ground. 3-point ball game. What a ball game we've got here. Coming through strongly again was Irvin. First there was young Stevens. Was he pushed in the back? The call is no.
This game really is set. This last quarter, it is going to be sensational. The elimination final for 1997.
Tap down, first there, Noonan, quick hands, Gerke. Said that a few times today. From a standing start, he gets North Adelaide 50 metres towards their goals. Young Robinson overruns maybe what he shouldn't have, and now Geddes steady under pressure. A kick around the body, under that was Judd. Pulls it forward, young Stevens his first touch. Oh, and met heavily too. The ball's out of play.
The young Stevens, only 19 years of age. Still a lot of league football ahead of him. Coach Carman there in screen, also alongside of him, Graham Dunstan.
Done a great job this year for the Double Blues. Robinson off the ground. Didn't make much in the way of distance. Warner comes through, tackled by Atkinson. didn't have the opportunity of disposing of it. The umpire will bounce.
That really is one of his strengths, is Brody Atkinson. It's his work off the football. A number of times a day we've seen him go in strong, go in hard, and take the body. Just there again, just enough pressure, those 1%ers, just to keep the ball alive.
Lennon forward, Phillips, the oldest man on the field, thumps it down. Stevens to Weatherall, to Wharton. He's 48 and closing. The siren sounds. They won't get time to score. Archie was right on it. So at three-quarter time in the elimination final, it's North Adelaide 5-6-36, leading Sturt 5-3-33. The margin 3 points in the cutthroat final. You're watching SANFL football on ABC Sport. Final quarter of the elimination final gets underway from Football Park. One side has finished at the end of this quarter. One steps up their finals campaign. They're still alive. Who will it be? The Roosters or the Double Blues? It's a three-point ball game. O'Leary free kicked and the umpires picked it out. Tackled too high, said the umpire. Jay Viney came in high and O'Leary sold the free.
O'Leary in the best player certainly for his team, playing well in defence.
Fair enough. Certainly in the third quarter he did a fair job. And Pollock over the top of that ball.
Just been an absorbing tussle. So close. The teams are so evenly matched.
Stanfield up against Rosenboom. Coming in hard there was Judd over the top with Timmy Noonan, the Tiger from out at Prospect.
Been a lot of this throughout the game. Ball up, throw-in situations. Conditions, of course, lend themselves to this type of football, but Sturt have had tremendous performances from their wingmen in Lennon and Irvin, their ruckman in Feast, and their rover centreman in Atkinson, whilst for the North Adelaide side it's players such as Morton, Gerke and Noonan that have been dominant.
Both sides realise now that any score in this last quarter, any goal that will be kicked will be an advantage. Only one goal kicked in that third quarter, and that was through Dudley Archie for the Double Blues. Atkinson again, some solid work down and tight. That was Gerke from Noonan. Around the body, anybody's ball. First will be Evil, gives it across to Noonan. Noonan kicks the ball through the middle of the ground. Coming out is Patura, he takes it onto his left leg, kicks the ball high. Chance here, Burton from the back, he comes across, but a good mark taken by Viney in the front position.
Very difficult to give your forwards very little opportunity when the ball comes in like that. Viney forces it wide. This is Squire on the outer half-back flank. Coming down into the defensive zone, pushes it towards half forward. The big fly was Soderstrom high over the top and thumps it towards the line, where Parker unable to keep it in. A couple of fans rugging up. There's no rain at Football Park at the moment. It did rain heavily in the first half, and the second quarter in particular was an emotional affair as both sides really stepped up the tempo of the match. Geddes off the ground. Burton crashes through. Ebel got him. Flips out the ball. It's holding the ball. Great tackle, Ebel. This fellow really, Ken, has stepped up in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, Burton had 3 goals to his name before Chris McDermott put Ebel on him. A good move by McDermott, and Ebel hasn't let his coach nor his team down. Tremendous tackle in the midfield. If you consider that, it's basically a 100-metre turnaround. The ball could have been in Sturt's forward line. Now it will be in North Adelaide's forward line.
At the back, diving over the top. Coming through, it's Maloney. Just goes to the safety of the boundary line.
And just onto that tackle there of Ebel's, Mark. A great believer in those tackles in the midfield are just so, like, they really have to land. They just can't break the shackles. If you can land them, be rewarded with a free kick. As I said, a 100-metre turnaround.
Feast in front of Sanford. The ball comes out. Atkinson again just kicks the ball forward. This ball should go out. It does. And again, we'll see the ball thrown in front of the members stand here at Football Park. The crowd getting vocal. They sense this game is there to be won. Good punch over the top by Feast. He had an outstanding afternoon. A flick across, trying to find Lennon. Ends up with Phillips for the Roosters. He kicks up forward this time. Good use of the body there by Squire. Coming across the top was Collins. Again we see Feast at ground level. Sockers the ball up. Geddes in front. Comes out over the top. Players diving over the football. Viney ends up with it. He kicks the ball up forward. Pachura should get there first. Slides across. Couldn't quite get his boot to the ball. The umpire once again will come in and throw it up.
And on that point of Feast, who has had an outstanding afternoon, playing a kick behind the play as a ruckman, taken probably half a dozen marks or so. And really now, between him and Rosenborn, the player that can come out as the dominant factor might just be the difference in the game. At this stage, Feast perhaps slightly ahead.
Maloney grubbers one into space. Lennon picks it up and bombs it towards half forward. Ill-directed kick. Evil couldn't get there. Davis finally just flicks one high over the top to Rosenborn. On the left boot, the big boomer. Well, look at that. Kicks it straight to his direct opponent in Feast. Unable to mark. Great pressure. Morton flicks out the handball. Well done, son. Sanford just gives it away. Viney in turn onto Squire. Gang tackled. Atkinson was on top of him in a second. And look at that. 3-on-1. The double Blues working hard.
So that intent would very much please Coach Phil Carman of the Sturt Football Club and also lift the confidence of the Sturt players.
I think win, lose or draw, Ken, I think both coaches will be very happy that their players have given their all today.
Oh, it's been a tremendous game of close, hard football, committed football. This type of football takes real courage and both teams are giving it all.
Robertson off the ground, across the line. Just on 5.5 minutes of the final quarter. The tension builds for the two coaches. Phil Carman, the Sturt coach, they've won their last 6, the Double Blues. They haven't done that since 1982 when they won 9 in a row. He really has got the formula working. Feast down, Geddes. A hurried kick on the right boot. They're playing the corridor pretty well, the Double Blues, after perhaps playing a little wide during the third quarter. Morton, Viney, a long bomb. Oh, look at this. It's going to be a score. But it's a point.
Viney's had a pretty good afternoon on centre wing.
Giving away a couple of undisciplined free kicks to my mind, Kent.
Yes. Captain of the side, I think, has probably led the way with his aggression and his experience.
Former captain of Sturt.
It's pretty unique, isn't it?
The 6.5 minutes have been played with this final turn. The ball's kicked out. Maloney over the top, flicks the ball forward. First there will be the North Adelaide player. He comes through very hard. A chance here for the Double Blues. The ball's kicked up high.
Irvin.
It was Irvin that came through before. Flick on again. All they've done is push the ball forward. From behind, the ball will come out far. This player here in Armstrong goes down the line. Robinson couldn't take it. A free kick has been paid back on the field.
Hang on.
Good umpiring, David. Good umpiring. In full control there. Had the mark been allowed to Robinson, yes, play on, and a further kick free downfield to North Adelaide, but...
Yeah, the only reason Robinson stopped is the umpire blowing the whistle. No.
I think it's pretty right.
Okay. I suppose that's experienced umpires in this match. Derek Woodcock, Richard Williams and Ron Bettridge. 3 of the most senior umpires throughout the year, and needs to be restated. I think umpires have suffered this year because of the way the AFL umpires have gone about it, but generally there has been virtually nil complaints about South Australian umpiring. Shane Harris and his crew have done a pretty good job.
It's been pretty good here today, although I would like to reflect back to that, what I thought was a high tackle in the first quarter, and I think Sturt's full forward line.
Well, you can see there a lot of blue in this crowd, Double Blues fans, who have really found a voice this year with the success that Sturt have had under Phil Carman. Now it's Viney feeding it out to Bradley Warner. Off the ground. Oh, great tackle.
No, it was not high. It was a great tackle, and that's what I'm talking about. That tackle has to land. Look at that. Beautiful. A perfect tackle. I've got a set of binoculars here for you, Mark.
A lot of courage to hold on into that one. Mark Nolan's calling for a high tackle. I think we both disagree with you, Mark.
I'd like to see his right arm again. Definitely was high. The camera didn't pick it up. My vision.
He takes a beating, doesn't he?
Having the younger eyes up here always helps. The ball's kicked forward. Pachura from behind. The ball comes to the ground. Chance for Robinson.
Oh, no.
He's taken high. Is the young fella, and Chris Robinson will have an opportunity here. 25 metres out, directly in front.
Been very impressive today, this young fellow. Very balanced. a good understanding of the game.
And he's still 16. He doesn't turn 17 until January next year, this kid.
So young Chris Robinson lines up, as I said, 25 metres out, directly in front. He's brought up his first major for the afternoon. And that may be enough to see the Roosters get home this afternoon.
And the reason that goal was able to be kicked by Chris Robinson was simply the tackle which was laid upon at half forward. The ball up was a result of that, force in long by North Adelaide, and then a high tackle, unfortunately, for Sturt.
Well, the one good thing, Ken, is they won't be drafting him. He's not old enough to be drafted. In fact, I don't think he shaves. But he's averaging 2 goals a game in his league career. In his 5 games this year, he's kicked 10 goals. And Chris McDermott claims...
Over the top.
Yep. And it's going to be just pushed through, you suspect. Richter gets back on it. I was about to say, Chris McDermott, a lot of the boys out there reckon that he just favours this kid. But when you see a kid that young, that good, you've really got to look after him, don't you?
Well, you certainly do, and it just creates enthusiasm for your club. It's just like a much-needed injection.
Ball down the middle of the ground.
Young legs, tremendous.
Burton comes out, couldn't take the football. Player there also was Wharton, sitting on top. We see McDermott there on screen, just talking to his players.
Actually, have 2 great coaches, aren't they? The way they've gone about their sides this year. The start of the year, I thought North Adelaide might have been finishing on the bottom the way they lined up in the trial games, but they really improved this year. And Sturt similarly.
The old timeman Bretton Phillips.
34, the oldest man on the field. What's his future, Ken?
Well, he's had a great football career, a distinguished football career.
McGarry medal.
34, you'd wonder if he should go on.
Well, he's missed the last 5 weeks with hamstring injuries, and you yourself know, just a sign of age, and it's harder to come up week in, week out, isn't it?
It is. It certainly is.
The Double Blues need a score, and they need it soon. We see the big fella coming through, number 18, looks like Andrew Geddes coming out. The ball's gone back to the player who just kicked the last goal, the young Robinson. Good vision. Sees a player out wide, and Viney is captain. Couldn't quite hit him. Viney overruns it as he tries to sock it off the ground. It's taken high as he's gone to the ground. The crowd want the free kick either for holding the ball or for the tackle being too high. But good crowd here witnessing SANFL football.
Most of them undercover. We should explain because of the inclement weather, certainly before half-time. Morton handballs one forward to Collins, whose season last year was outstanding, but this year he's been quite quiet. This guy, one of the favourites for the McGarry medal, Tuesday night, 8:30 from Football Park, live on ABC. Join us. Will it be Andrew Jarman? Will it be Danny Morton? Or perhaps Brodie Atkinson or Simon Feast? Certainly 4 great contenders. Viney forward, deep into the pocket. Great work, Pachura. His second half of the season has been very solid.
It's good body strength there by Pachura. Parker not pushing hard enough back into him and allowing this fellow with a lethal left foot, prodigious kick, to change play out of defence for his club.
Uses it pretty well to Robinson. Further afield, Atkinson was running across. Lennon holds his ground. Armstrong with great desperation forces it forward. Atkinson runs onto it, evades one tackle, gets a left footer away. A little left footer, a high one to Lennon. Judd did very well to keep Phillips away from Lennon in the finish. Rosenboom pushes it forward. Morton a little flick. Oh no, stolen away by Judd. He's a specialist at that. He just steals it. And Archie stands one hand. It's a mark. Oh, he's got it. Can they come back? Almost nonchalant, but he took it. And don't the Double Blue fans love it.
Kicked the only goal in the 3rd quarter, a special goal. Rare ability it was. And that is just another exhibition of the great talent that this man possesses.
Archie, who kicked a great snap in the 3rd quarter. They trail by 11 points. A goal here brings them back within a kick, and they're there. He's put it through. Shades of Troy Bond. Archie gets his second, and the Double Blues are back within a kick.
Tremendous interception by Judd. Set that play up to the one-on-one contest, which Archie, through just a freakish one-handed mark in these conditions, was able to control had a great duel with Sutherland. Sutherland high in the best players for North Adelaide, but Archie with 2 goals in his second half. They really have been special goals.
Back to 5 points here. Football Park, the elimination final, 14-minute mark. There can only be about 11 minutes left in this quarter. The third quarter went for 25 minutes. Ball's brought to ground. Chance here for Atkinson. Over the top, he's hurt his leg as well as he's gone down. Maloney applies a heavy tackle. Through comes Morton. Again, the double blues, very desperate and very keen.
Phil Carman launches to the boundary, and he knows the significance of Atkinson staying down.
It's a difficult one, that, the 50-50 ball, both players coming full bore. You've nearly got to throw yourself at ground level at that footy. Atkinson unusually elected to go for the body.
Viney gives away a free kick. Umpire said he gave O'Leary a little one in the clinches. O'Leary will take the free kick. He's not worried too greatly about copping one for his side. Wharton at the back door. Hollett closes in on him. Judd follows up, but look at this. Squire picks up the loose crumb, feeds it out to Noonan. Further afield, it's Davis. Around the corner goes the high drop punt kick, and Stanfield sits underneath it. Now they'll need to move on. We're 15 minutes in, 4.5 minutes away from time on, and Wharton marks on the outer wing. The former Port Adelaide player now finding a home with the double blues. He's been one of their key recruits, and underneath this one, Rosenboom judged it better than Burton, and the big fellow steadies the ship.
It's a big mark at half-back. Strong mark. He's 4th or 5th for the afternoon.
Big boom drives the ball to the outer side. First there again is Morton. Couldn't keep the ball in play. The boundary umpire will come in and throw it in. So 6-8, played 6-3, a 5-point margin to the Roosters. Can they hang on? The ball's thrown in. Stanfield, who's been moved into ruck. Fisher's been moved up to centre half forward. The ball's from behind. Robertson again, onto his left leg. He puts it high. Has he got the distance? I don't think he has. At the back is Patura. Couldn't take the grab. He's quite prepared to see the ball over the line.
As you look at the structure of the two teams, Coach Phil Carman of Sturt has Archie one-on-one with Sutherland at full forward. Pretty good move, I think, by him. Sutherland would not be used to playing fullback. 2 goals already to Archie in the second half.
Loose ball on it. Morton tries to bend it back. Parker runs onto it. Oh, he did pretty well. Can he get boot the ball? Richter did very well just to hold it in the area, and he's won himself a free kick, Johnny Richter. And Parker's blowing off steam at the umpire.
Johnny Richter started in the midfield and has played a fairly handy game.
I don't think he's played a final in his entire career. They've won the last 8 wooden spoons. He spent a year away from the club in Western Australia last year on work commitments, Johnny Richter. It's been a fairy tale for him this year. And Phil Carman,
the man in the mid game. Back he come to Adelaide, and this is what it's all about. So his first final, we certainly expect him to play it out right until the end.
Stanfield stands his ground, thumps it down. Geddes was the general target. Robertson off the ground. Now dropping back Atkinson, who seems to have recovered. It's going to be an important kick, this one. He's come right across the face of goal. It needs to be centimetre perfect. It was. There was no margin for error in that one. And Lennon looks to play on and pushes it to Richter across the line.
Kick going back to Lennon, who's been a fine performer on centre wing, has played on the members wing all day. Started off an electric blitz at the start of the third quarter, I think it was. So 3 opponents for the day.
Had a stint with Richmond that has made an impact with the double blues on the wing this year. He has played at centre half back and centre half forward, but as a free-flowing player, he's a dynamic wingman. O'Leary, the former Norwood player, drills one at Geddes. At centre half back, he'll look to go straight down the field. He goes onto the left boot, does so successfully. Irvin the target, Davis underneath it, misjudged it but gets one. Yep.
Umpire right there.
Tim Davis pushes it to the wide part of the oval. Patura underneath it. Parker came deep and crashed in. Great contest. Patura looking for the free.
But it clearly wasn't there. It's just... Oh, no way. Not in the context of this game. And no good either. Pachura complaining to the umpire. Just get on with the job. He's played fairly well since quarter time.
Like Mark Nally's referring to, they paid the same thing to Davis at half back just a second ago, and they missed that one. I think that's what he was alluding to. We had the eyeballs goggling at us. Weatherald.
Don't put words in my mouth, David Mackay.
Well, what do you reckon?
Game is there to be won by either side right now. 44 plays 39. 5-point margin still. Only one goal's been kicked in this final term. One each, that is. So the ball's thrown up. Big Sanford. Gergie. It's been quiet in the last quarter.
Quiet since he was reported,
Yes.
really.
Started so well. Threw his weight around early.
Looks to be playing under a bit of difficulty too, physical difficulty, but probably which player out there isn't at this stage of the year.
There's lots of knee bandages, lots of finger bandages, wrist bandages. Soderstrom, former North Adelaide centre half-back, went to Glenelg, recruited to the Double Blues this year, and hasn't he been important? Weatherald flicks it out, Irvin, kick smothered by Viney, Irvin goes after it again. And the umpire's picked out a free.
Out on the full. Is it or against Collins? Or against Collins for the tackle.
Okay, we're 20 and a half minutes in, we're into time on. Just a few minutes left for one team in the 1997 season. Rosenboom fingertipper, Morton roves the crumb. Drives it long.
Good spoil.
It was a good spoil. Geddes off the ground. Now Warner. A high ball. Underneath this one, Collins. Oh, well done.
That's a very good mark. Also been impressed with Warner's game at half-back today. Combining with Sutherland and Davis for most of the afternoon. I think their half-back line has been pretty solid. It's been pretty mature.
Collins looking to bomb one to the square. Just tumble punts it forward. Robertson misses it. Loose scrum falls. Robertson couldn't get the kick any distance at all. Jeffries appeals for a free. The umpire will bounce it up right in the square.
He's got a special talent, Robertson, to be able to get that boot to ball.
Scores on the board. Just a 6-point ball game now between these two sides. In the event of a draw, Dave Mackay, what does happen? Sturt managed to kick a goal and the final siren does occur.
If that happens, the teams will play, they'll have a 5-minute break, and then they'll play for 5 minutes plus time on. There'll be a 3-minute break, then they'll play for 5 minutes plus time on again, and the side that's in front then is the winner. And if they're still drawn at that time, they'll do it all again.
Chance here, Burton comes out. Good work again by Evil. The evil, we shall call him. He really has been mean this afternoon.
Evil. Well, you do have a habit of naming them. Nathan Steinberger, or Steinlager, has stuck. Noonan through.
Judd again, intercepts the handball. He's still in there. Players game diving over the top of the football as the umpire surges towards the pack.
Good crowd, Ken.
Oh, it's terrific, and they've been involved all the way.
Can't understand that some of the corporate boxes aren't fully utilised.
Richter under his right leg. He kicks the ball forward and brings up a behind.
This kick out here, possession for the Roosters.
It can only possibly be, I reckon, 3 or 4 minutes into this game.
I think you're right, Mark. Sutherland goes straight down. Rosenboom marks it. Sturt trail by 5 points. A goal here puts them forward into a first semi-final next week. Stanfield drives it forward. Can anyone mark it? Dropping back Sutherland. Archie couldn't get there. Sutherland plays on with 23 and a half minutes gone. There won't be much time on at all. Phillips flicks it forward, and Morton, working hard deep in defence, just steadies the boat a little. 22 kicks, 11 handballs and 4 marks, so he's had 33, make that 34 possessions this afternoon in a probably best on ground performance. This fellow wouldn't be far behind him, Brody Atkinson, either.
Yes, I think you'd basically give the votes to whichever one of the teams wins. Either one of those players would be recipient of 3 votes, I would think.
Well, what a season. There's only been half a game of percentage separating these two sides throughout the season. And in the final wash, it looks like it's going to be less than a goal in it when it's all said and done at the final siren. We're 24 minutes gone. Your commentator, Mark Bailey.
Defensive time there for coach Chris McDermott. He realises he's got a 5-point buffer at the moment, but will that be enough? Can only be a couple of minutes left in this game. He just needs his charges now just to hang on to the football at all costs. See Shane Hodges in that bunker. He would love to be out there. Rosenboom over the top. Ball comes down to Judd. The ball's kicked around his body. Just pushed at the right time as he was about to kick it. The ball's gone out over the line on the full.
They're the little things that just mean so much in the context of a game of footy. Just that extra bit of commitment, desperation.
Tim Davis brings the ball back in. Goes to half forward. Feast, finger tipper. Geddes tried to get away with it. Viney over the top of it. And umpire Richard Williams indicates allowed the bounce. Seconds remaining in this match. It's North by 5 points. A goal for the Double Blues pushes them forward. And if they can't, it'll be the Roosters going to the first semi-final next week. Gerke. Forward. Front position. Eyes a push. Pachura will get it. Now they'll need to go straight down the middle of the Double Blues. It was against Parker. And Pachura plays on. Doesn't wait. Pushes it wide. This will be an important ball. Armstrong was up to it. He got through and forced it forward to Robertson. That was an important part of the match. It's good night as Squire lines him up. He gets a point. Well, there's still a chance for a draw, but the Roosters, you'd suspect, have got enough in the tank.
Well, it's the opportunity is with the Sturt Football Club. They have possession of the football. Many times at training they would have had the situation going from one end to the other in less than 10 seconds.
Ball's kicked back in. Feast, important chance here to mark the ball. Ball's come to ground. The Blues have the numbers around the pack. The city on top of it is the young little gun, Chris Robertson.
26 minutes and 19 seconds into the game.
Atkinson comes back down. Morton just goes for the safety of the boundary line. He wants to buy some time. There can only be moments left in this game. I think the Roosters have got it. They will advance to the first semi-final next week. Chance here for Richter. Kicks the ball up. It's heading towards the boundary line. Both players in Holt and also Stanfield couldn't keep it in.
Both teams have given their all in this contest, and while one coach and one team will be brutally disappointed, I think the public recognises they have given every ounce of themselves this afternoon in this elimination final. Richter over the top of the ball, held by Gerke, who has had some important tackles today. Chris McDermott just holds on. Irvin could have gone off the ground. Wharton tried to get through, but importantly, Noonan and Davis just hold him up.
Well, a tactic that just has to be this way. Not one side has been dominant in this area. They're just so even, so a clean break is very unlikely.
It's a 6-point ball game. Only a goal will do for the Double Blues as seconds tick away. We're 27 3/4 minutes into the final quarter, and we've only had one quarter that's gone more than 28 minutes prior to the last. Judd forward. Burton desperately done over the top of the ball, and Davis holds him in. So the Double Blues are forcing it forward, but only 10 metres at a time. They're inside their scoring zone. Can they flip it wide and get a goal and restart with time on? That's what they need. Lennon thumps it forward. The runners are onto it, off the ground. A chance for the Double Blues. It was Weatherall off the ground. Well, it's out of bounds on the full.
The experienced Brenton Phillips will be the recipient of this free kick. Possession so vital here for the Roosters. They've just got to work this ball out or bomb it high and kick it, hit it to the safety of the boundary.
The Double Blues need a mark here. Simon Feast and also Stanfield there up against Rosenberg. The ball comes down to Atkinson onto his left boot. It's in the area. Phillips again clears it and finds Robertson.
What a last quarter from this kid.
He has valuable possessions as young Christopher Robertson. 8 possessions that the young fella had. They have been important over the back of the pack. Squire can go for a run. He gets the ball moving quickly into his forward line. The big fella in Parker takes it. The umpire's call played on. Ball's come to ground. Jeffries around his body.
That's it.
Just quite happy to put it through for a behind. Maybe not happy.
No, that'll be enough.
But quite content to see it over.
That'll be enough. The Roosters will advance to next week's first semi-final against the loser of Port and Central this afternoon. Sturt will... that's it. It's all over. Jubilation for the Roosters. Chris McDermott in his first year as coach of North Adelaide carries them forward. 1 win already in the elimination final. They go to next week's first semi. A thought for Shane Hodges, who couldn't take his place today. And look at those players. They are a spent force. The final score, Sturt 6-4-40, lost to North 6-11-47. All the great SANFL finals footy action brought to you by ABC Sport.